Good morning. We're back with another video today. Thank you, Jesus, for another day. Let's get into the video. Jacob, Brandon, and I, we finished a lot of these cabinets yesterday. The list doesn't look like it's shrinking, but it definitely is. I need to go pick up the shelves, make sure all the shelves fit inside of every cabinet. Carl's gonna go, he's over there coping and sticking some doors. He has to go on an appointment, and then he's gonna pick up our drawer slides for us, our clips and our brackets, so we can put all these drawer boxes that are sitting right over here into these cabinets, get that done as well. So shelves, cabinets, and then I'm gonna pick up the filler for this cabinet and get the other face frame on. And then I'm going to also dado out these last two face frames for this cabinet that I did finish last night. It's right here. It's a blind corner double face frame. So this is the front right here, face frame. This is a blind corner with a cabinet butting into it. And then this is the other side of the peninsula. The peninsula comes this way and it'll have a face frame with a door. Let's go pick up the shelves. Carl will get all of our drawer slides and everything. And then we can just go for there. Make sure the shelves fit. Get the drawer boxes in. Do a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm gonna go get the stain so I can make up our color match caulking. And then Jacob went to go put on the existing doors where he taped Monday, sprayed Tuesday, Wednesday today. He's putting on the existing doors. Got to drill brand new handles for them. Brandon's installing the crown at the cabinet job that he installed on Monday. And then later today I have to go measure for those doors so we can get those doors on hopefully by Friday. So yeah, it's just a super busy day. Got back from the production facility over there where everything gets stained, clear coated, painted. That's where we're moving to here very shortly. But all of these shelves have 3 coats of clear coat on them. They're all 3/4 of an inch and edge banding. These shelves are a little bit different than the ones that we make sometimes. We just had a different material that we wanted to use. They turn out great. These look phenomenal. So I'm gonna unload these, make sure they all fit in every single cabinet, and then wrap them up. They're already labeled with the corresponding cabinet, so then I'll wrap them up and we'll start doing some other stuff. Maybe, I don't know, we'll start doing something over there. I gotta look at the list, but make sure all of these fit, wrap them up, and go from there. What I'm gonna do before I start checking those shelves is I'm gonna mix up this exact color sealant by a company called Sashco. They make, I think, the best caulking products on the market. They have a bunch of them. We use Big Stretch. Comes in, I think, white, maybe gray and black. And it's super durable, paintable, and it stretches really big so it doesn't crack. We use this caulk probably the most. And what it is you can mix your stain and you can mix your paint in it, and it creates the exact same color stain or paint, but in caulk form that you need. And since we always are doing custom colors, you can't buy caulk that is the colors that we have. So we have to make it. And this is a great way if I can cut this tip off without hurting myself. Step number 1 is you just cut this little tip off just like that. I did not use the best knife in the world, so that's not great. There we go. And I like to make sure the product's down away from the mouth there, otherwise the stain or the paint won't go in. Next step, you need 15 mils of stain or 20 mils of paint. That right there looks to be about correct. Then what I'll do is I'll syringe this in like so. Get it off the very tip of the syringe. Then super easy. Well, this part is the worst part. Not worse, but it's the least fun. You have to shake this for like, I don't know, I shake it for a long time because I don't trust it. Not that I don't trust it, but I want it mixed perfectly. So I'm gonna stay here shaking this for probably at least 2 minutes. Once that's done, we'll add the hardener, shake it for another 2 minutes or so. And then it says it needs to set for about 30 minutes. I like it to set for at least an hour or 2 hours, but 30 minutes, it's good to go. The Caulk Mixer 3000 is back in action. I just want to make sure this caulking is mixed up super well before we add the hardening agent that's sitting right over there. And once you add that, it's a lot harder to mix up. So I'm going to do this for maybe another minute or so and then add that hardening agent. My last step here is to add this color hardener straight into the caulking. And this will turn this from a liquid to an actual caulk. Put the cap on and then shake it up for 2 minutes. And then we can put the tip on and use it. It's a really slick way to make caulking that perfectly matches whatever you're doing. I'm going to tape this to our Sawzall here. This is a really good way to mix this up super well. Because again, I'm putting stain into this white caulking, and I want to make sure it has to be mixed well. So I'm going to mix this for about 2 or so minutes and then let it sit. It says 30 minutes. I let it sit for an hour at least, and then I can use it. Now my caulking mixed up. I'm going to let it sit for at least 30 minutes, probably more like an hour. I have the tip taped on it so I can't lose it. Now I'm going to start pulling all the shelves out of that van, double checking them in all of our cabinets here, and then bring them over here and I can start wrapping them up so that way they're easy for transport. So I guess let's just start pulling these shelves out and go from there. These shelves look really beautiful. You'll never, I mean, when the doors are closed, you never see them, obviously. When the cabinet doors are closed. But I still want our shelves to look really good. I mean, look at it. That's what the edge bander does. The edge bander's sitting right there. That's what it does. I mean, it makes these so perfect. It takes a little bit of time to get used to it, but once you've used it enough, it makes the shelves look beautiful, which that's what we're going for. Again, you never really see them. And it's more important that they function properly, I would argue, and that are sturdy. But I still want them to look beautiful, like with anything that we do. I want it to function properly, and I want it to look beautiful. So I'm just going to keep unloading these, and then I'll sort them based on their cabinet number and start checking them in the cabinet. I have all the shelves organized, but I am going to hold off because I have 2 more cabinets that need face frames. This cabinet right here, which needs the filler, and then there's another cabinet over there, that really custom blind corner cabinet. I want to just double check all the shelves at one time. So I have them organized. I'm going to hold off on double checking. I'm going to put this filler into this face frame, put that face frame on, skin that cabinet. That cabinet will be completed. Put on the 2 face frames that are sitting right there onto that custom cabinet that's sitting over there. And then that cabinet can be completed, and then finally I can do the shelves. I just want to cross stuff off and not have to go back and then I forget and do a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to get ready to put this filler on and then finish both of those cabinets and go from there. I chose which side I want to be facing up when you open up the door. The other side is stained and clear coated the same way, but it's hiding the hood, or the hood will hide it, so you'll never see it. Both sides look really good though, so I'm not worried. But now I am simply Craig jigging it with a 3/4 inch setup. And my plan is to put 1 million, not actually, but pretty darn close to 1 million Craigs in it. 2.5 there. Because I want it to make sure it has contact everywhere. The other thing is, I'm not going to really be able to use glue to secure this piece because everything that it contacts is clear coated, and the glue doesn't really hold on clear coat. Wood glue doesn't. So I want to make sure I have a bunch of screws in there. That's how it'll look. And again, the hood will cover this. It would be like this anyway if I had built it differently from the start. Should have everything I need, I think. But I would have put a million Craigs in it anyway. It needs to be there. Flip this face frame over. Go in there nice, hopefully. Yep. Okay. Now, let's grab the DeWalt's. My favorite. I really do like DeWalt's. I just prefer our Milwaukee's. And the reason why I prefer them is, I think DeWalt has them now, but Milwaukee makes those M12s. I think they have just as much power as the bigger battery, but they're in a much smaller profile. So, you don't ding up cabinets that way with a smaller tool. We can't be dinging up cabinets. Cannot. So, my plan here is to clamp this just like a normal face frame and screw it together. Hopefully. Definitely fighting me a little bit. That's okay. That is a-okay. Put this next screw in, and then I'll just button out the field. Pull this to the front. Oh my goodness. Pull this to the front, see how it'll look. That'll look fine. And again, a door will cover this completely. So you won't see this from the exterior, but the seams are flush, that's good. I'm gonna button out the field here and then just keep going. That's how it turned out. It turned out looking great. Worst case, I could always put some of that color match caulk in the seam if I don't like it, but it'll be covered by doors and I think it looks phenomenal. I did use, which is risky, I know that, 1¼ coarse threads to attach this because I'm not using glue. I wanna make sure this never, ever, ever moves. So, a lot of times I'll use a combination of these and fine thread, but I use all 1¼ coarse because you can't glue clear coat to clear coat. It doesn't bond with wood glue. So I'm gonna pick up our station here and then I might try to put that face frame on and just get that cabinet fully done before I start on this one. I have my contact adhesive on the bottom of the cabinet for the bottom skin, on the side for the side skin. Now I'm going to spray it on this. Don't need to put too much. I just like it evenly covered around the edges. I do put it in the middle in case the panels bowed a little bit. Takes care of that. And then biggest thing is you just want it to dry until it's tacky, which it almost is for this bottom skin. I think it's super important. Otherwise, it won't stick that well. So that bottom skin will cover up all my Craigs, everything. See, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not. I'm going to hammer this on with my hand here, making sure that it is fully contacted, which it is. I may also, just on this cabinet, I may put a few pin nails in this panel because this is for a hood vent, and that's why it's flush right here. Normally it's like a 1/2 inch offset or a 3/4 of an inch offset for undermount lighting. But on these I pack out, so it's an inch thick material plus 1/4, so 1.25 thick. So that way it can hold the hood well. But I want to make sure that this panel, because you have to drill through it to connect the hood obviously, or the electrical or whatever. I want to make sure this panel, I mean the contact cement is amazing, but I want to make sure this panel never, ever comes off when you go to drill it. It shouldn't, it usually doesn't, but a lot of times I'll just take a little bit of this putty. Essentially is a color match for our material, which is awesome. Take a few of these pin nails. Of course, it's Milwaukee, my favorite, and I'm just going to pin nail it and then putty the holes. The holes are so small, they don't really need puttied, but it'll drive me crazy if they're not puttied. So that way I can just sleep at night knowing this panel can never, ever, ever come off with that contact cement. And those are the pin nail holes right there. Put a little bit of putty in there. Essentially they'll disappear. So this is the only cabinet I do that for. The contact cement works perfect, but this is just a plan B. So that way when the drill bit goes through all of this material, to drill the holes out for the hood, so the hood can be attached to the bottom of this cabinet. The panel cannot move in any way, shape, or form. Again, the contact cement works perfectly, but I just want to cover my bases and make sure. So that's how that looks. Again, this will all be covered by the back of the hood, so you'll never see that. Now, how does this feel? See, I put it on a little bit heavy there, but I think it feels okay. That's feeling super good. I'm gonna run this back over there because we do not want to make messes, because then we have big messes to clean up. If you keep your spot organized, you never have to organize. That probably doesn't make any sense, but it does make sense. Let's come over here. Carl has copes and sticks cut out for this door order. I think it's like 29 doors, I think. Shaker 45 door, slab drawer front. That's just a refacing job. Existing boxes, I measured for that on Monday. Existing boxes and new doors, new drawer fronts, new handles. So, going to line this up at the bottom. Contact it everywhere. These panels are super dusty. We have to, all the cabinets are super dusty. We need to wipe everything, blow everything out, clean everything, but I want to do that at the very end. Otherwise, you have to do it 10 times. I hit it with my hand a little bit just to make sure it's perfectly flush. That's why it's so important to get those Craigs, those Craig pocket screws. I call them Craigs. Craig screws, Craig jigs in properly so it doesn't pop a side panel out and leave it not contacting everywhere. But that's how it looks. Looks really nice. And now essentially this cabinet is done. This is the back that hangs down. On that side's the front. 2 doors there with a hood below it. 2 doors here. The doors will extend down, cover up the face frame. And it'll look really good. Awesome. Double check that cabinet, label that cabinet. Cabinet's done. Now we need to come over here and I need to dado out. There's 2 face frames I need to dado out. And then that way I can screw the face frames onto this blind corner. Finished this last night. Brandon and Jacob helped a lot, which was lovely. This part will be dadoed. This part will not be, because this is the blind corner part. It needs to sit flat there, where this sticks out 1/8 of an inch to line up with the other cabinets next to it. It'll all be the same depth though, based on how we did our blind corner. Same thing here. I did that dadoed here, no dado here because it needs to line up down there with the back of the cabinet next to it. It'll all be the same depth though. Dados help square your cabinet face frame up. That's why I wouldn't have had to put dados on blind corners at all, but, or any cabinet at all for that sake, but it helps with production because you're not having to use brad nails for anything. You can contact cement your side panels on because you can screw from the back side. We don't like to use staples like some production facilities from the inside. I think it looks tacky, doesn't hold that well. I want it dadoed, I want it glued, I want it screwed. But I still want to be high production and custom and affordable at the same time. So finish these, or just this, and then after that's complete, we can maybe start caulking some stuff. Carl wants to go get some glass doors for a client that Brandon routed out Friday, and then he's going to pick up a bunch of slides, brackets, and clips so we can get all of these drawer boxes in. Whole bunch of stuff to do, but we are making headway. So measure this, label this, go from there. Cabinet is super dusty, but I think I have it together. I need to double check the measurements, but This is the back of the Peninsula. Cabinets will butt in right here with a back side panel. Door right there. This is the blind corner part. We have it packed out so that way when this cabinet butts into it, it lines up with the face frame nice and flush on both sides. And then this is the front of this cabinet. There's a sink right here. There's an oven right here. The oven will butt right into this. That's how it looked. Super custom. I brought the toe kick all the way to the floor because the panel will be all the way to the floor. So when the shoe molding comes around and hits this wall, it can be one line. It doesn't jet in. I don't like that look. I want the shoe molding to be one piece, nice and consistent and flush. So double check this measurement. Bring this cabinet over here. And then what's next? I don't know. There's a million things we could do. We could, well, I'm waiting for the drawer box clips and slides. Can't do that. We could double check the shelves now, quite honestly, and the shelf holes and all that, since all the cabinets are made. So I might do that. Double check this for measurement wise, and then double check all those shelves that I organized. I now have all of these shelves labeled, wrapped, double checked size wise. Everything fits perfectly. That's great. Everything is caulked, ready to go. That cabinet looks great. The next thing is I'm going to measure where Brandon is for the doors that go above, the upper doors that go above upper doors. I don't like to measure them in the shop because ceilings are never level. And this one's really bad. So I'm going to go do that. And then when I come back, hopefully Carl has gotten the slides, clips, brackets, and we'll start installing these drawer boxes. We have a bunch of stuff crossed off this sheet. I can actually cross another thing off if I can remember where I put that marker. That's tough. But anyway, lightly sand the cabinets, clean the cabinets out fully, install the drawer boxes, measure for the doors, do our order. And I need to pack out 2 of the cabinets on the back for the skin side panels that'll go back here. So that's what's left on the sheet. I believe these are getting installed tomorrow, which will be awesome if we can complete that, which I think we can. Jacob's doing really well installing the doors, drawer fronts, the existing ones at a house, and Brandon's almost done with the trim. So I need to get over there, measure for those doors, get back here, and keep working on those cabinets. Just finishing up putting the trim on all of these upper cabinets that we put above the upper cabinets. Whole lot of trim going on here. We still have to caulk, putty, color match caulk, make it all look perfect. But he's putting on the last pieces of trim here, and then we got to go back and make these doors, spray these doors, get these doors on ASAP. It's looking really good though. Looking really, really good. It makes everything seem really tall in this kitchen, which I love. Just got back from helping Brandon. Now I'm going to start putting in all of these drawer boxes. I have my boards cut. I have all my L's drawn right here. Now I need to subtract 3/8 from all of the sides. Put in the clips into the boxes, screw in the slides, start putting in these drawer boxes. I have the slides bolted in now into the back with the 3/4 inch thick beech material, hardwood, screwed in with 1 1/4 Craigs. These are screwed in with 5/8 inch Phillips into the red oak face frame. My last step is I'm going to clean out the inside of this cabinet, put the drawer fronts in, but that's how they look. All I did was, these are 1/2 inch offset on the inside, so I drew a line 1/8 of an inch in because it's a 1/2 inch minus 3/8 to get me an 1/8 because the brackets need to be offset 3/8 of an inch wider than the front, and then simply line up my notch here with the inside of my cabinet face frame, screw it in, done, boom, bang. These slides are soft close. There's 3 adjustments on the clips that mount to the box, height, depth, width, can hold 100 pounds each. All the boxes are dovetailed, maple, 5/8 inch thick, super high quality for our client. I love how they function, I love how they look. So now I need to rinse and repeat it on all of these cabinets and just keep going for the day here. Jacob finished cutting the panels for the doors. We're over here now. We have these drawer boxes installed. Soft close. They all are full extension, hold 100 pounds, soft close back in. We have to just make sure they're all perfect. We have that one to install, that one over there to install, and then we can set these up, wipe them, clean them out, and measure for doors. Then we have to pack out 2 cabinets on the back. But I think that's pretty much it. So let's keep going. Anything to say? Look at those dovetails, huh? Anything to say?
Came out good.
Came out good. Jakey made them. Custom woodworker.
Something.
Jacob and I got this whole kitchen cleaned out, all the drawer boxes in, double checked. Everything's working perfectly. So now we have it set up how the kitchen is so we can measure for the drawers, doors. Once the lowers are done, we'll set them to the side and we'll do that for the uppers. So we have our whole sheet here already drawn up. The door style, drawer front style, all labeled, numbered. I'm just gonna go through, figure out my sizes, and go from there so they can be made. Sound good to you?
Sounds great.
You're the writer, I'm the measurer.
It's the best thing. My handwriting's the best.
Handwriting is terrible, but we make it work.
All right.
It's all that effort that you got. With the
That is
beanie,
true.
80 degrees out, beanie, locked in. Okay, so, yep, we're just gonna measure, and then we'll do the uppers next. Do the order for hinges. We packed everything out. I think that's pretty much the final thing here. Let's see, we did that, we did that, we did that, we did that, we did that. Yep, it's just measure doors, order for the hinges, and then these will be ready to get installed by Jakey himself. Grab my coffee and get going. Jacob and I got all of the cabinet doors, drawer fronts, everything measured. They're all on this sheet right here. Took a little bit of time, but it's done right, hopefully. It is, but these are gonna be Shaker 45 with matching drawer fronts. Pretty much in the video though. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, every platform we're there. Look at our website, it's professional. If you need cabinets, look at the website. I think that's pretty much it though. Leave a comment, we love reading the comments. We try to answer the comments with new videos. New videos out almost daily. Yeah, I think that'll about do it. I think these will be installed tomorrow, these cabinets, not sure, but only time will tell. See you tomorrow, adios.